Welcome guys to my second strategy video. This one is going to be a 1 versus 1 that I played against a Protoss opponent. Now, I'm going to warn you, I win again in this one, and I'm not trying to do that by I'm not trying to do that to boost my ego or whatever. It's just the ones, I'm just picking the ones that I know are the best for a Protoss and a Zerg player. And this one I think was really good for a Zerg player, and it was also really good for Protoss. Okay, so we're going to start out this one. I don't really remember the name because it took me for flipping ever. I mean, the name of the map. It took me forever to actually find this level. I've been searching for this for the last 10-15 minutes for this replay. Anyway, let us get started. We're going to go put you to faster, and actually for the beginning we're going to go to ×2 speed. So for this one, it is a cross-position spawn. Actually, which there's some things in this level that actually I really want to point out as they start coming up that were really important to the way that I ended up winning this match. He did some things that are pretty smart that I believe that, yeah, as a Protoss player you really need to do these things, and I did some things that were kind of smart, but I also did one thing that was really stupid. Alright, so you see here our Protoss opponent. The throwing is piling down at 9, about standard timing. Some people throw it down at 8, just all depends on what you do. Alright, what's he doing here? He's going for a 13 gate. It's not a bad timing, as long as you scout your opponent, because it all depends. I could be 6-pulling him, but, I'm not, so, it doesn't really matter. And I guess since we're both in Gold League now, he's like, well, he's probably not going to cheese me. Which is true, I don't like cheesing people. I don't think it's fun. Okay, now here's something that as a Protoss player you need to do not very early, but that you need to do about his timing. At about 15 supply, throw down your assimilator. Because as a Protoss, you need gas extremely quickly. Because your units are all gas heavy. Sentries, Stalkers, Colossus later on, all those things are extremely gas heavy. Now, this thing here that I didn't notice when I was watching the replay at ×8 speed to see if this was the right one, he didn't put probes and gas first. Why build this assimilator if you weren't going to put probes and gas? Everything that you do in the game of StarCraft needs to have a purpose. And so we both spawn each other in the correct directions at the cross position. I think this is a 2-player map, so I think that's not stupid of us. I mean, I don't think that's by luck. And now he finally throws probes on gas. And now this is something that as any player going against a Protoss, you really need to scout. You need to see where your Protoss opponent is using his chrono boost. Is he using it on his gateway, which means that he's warping in or chrono boosting a zealot? In that case, they need to be ready for some early pressure because their first zealot is very key for them. Or are they using it on probes? Which in this case, I saw him using his chrono boost on his probes, so I knew, okay, probably not going to be any early pressure from my opponent. You can see here, now throwing down 2 gateways. Timing for this should be around about what he's at, about 25, which is never bad. But again, it all depends on the scout. You see, he had a scout on my base for a little while. It just came back. Oh, sorry, bumped my mic there. Did not mean to. Okay, this is something else that Protoss players need to be doing. And I don't know if you guys do this, who's listening, but then again, I just want to point out that these games are not for Diamond and Grandmaster League players. These are probably for Platinum and under. Okay? I'm not that good. Okay, so sorry, I cracked my knuckles. That was just kind of instinctive. Shouldn't have done that. Anyway, so what my opponent is doing is he's built his wall, and then he puts a zealot right here in the middle, which is extremely important. To your wall off, that's really important. Because this is now a very tight wall. No one can get through here, so that means that Zergling run-bys, I can't get any Zerglings in there now. Alright, now the timing for the second gas is Protoss. Again, it needs to put probes in here. It all depends on really your opponent and what you want to do. If you want to put on early pressure with Sentries and Stalkers, get your early gas quick. Probably before even your second or third gateway goes up. Maybe you put your second gateway down and then get a second gas. But it all depends. Okay, you can see for me, I have my Roach Warren on the way, and I have 2 Spine Crawlers. Now, I've been liking this recently as a Zerg, and if you're a Zerg player, I very much recommend that you do this. Start with 2 Spine Crawlers at your natural expansion once you get it. I just find that it really helps hold off an early attack, and it also gives you a little bit of comfort so that you can spend more money on drones. Like you can see now, I have 5 drones on the way, and 3 of them just came out. And look, it's 6 minutes into a game, and I'm now just building my first 2 Zerglings. So, Yeah, what's the army? Yeah, exactly. He is so much more than me, and yeah, I'm actually behind in the supply counts right now, but then again, it's because I'm building up on probes. Okay, control. That was what I meant to do. Sorry guys, I'm still a little new to this. What's the income look like? You can see, however, that I'm very much ahead in my income, for minerals at least. I'm not even on gas, because they're both mining off 2 gas. Now for Zerg, you can get away with mining off 2 gas for a long, long time, which is something that I like to do. I mean, I normally don't get my 3rd and 4th gas till... Well, actually, it depends. I saw that he had... I believe I scouted that. Did I scout that? No, I didn't scout it. But for me, normally, once my natural goes up, once I've had maybe 2 to 3 rounds of drones, and in this case, I think it was... Okay, it was 2, 3, maybe. I don't know. I'm just talking the same thing, aren't I? I'm repeating myself is what I tried to say there. Sorry, I don't when I talk, I don't normally make sense, so... Yeah, I don't normally get my 3rd or 4th gas until, like, my natural expansion goes up and I have a couple rounds of drones, which is smart, because normally, like, look, I wanted to get my lair, and I've been going recently into infestor play, though I think in this game I don't really use infestors. I don't know, maybe this was when I started using infestors. You can see I have a roach warren up, I'm getting 7 roaches, because at this point I knew, okay, well, he's probably going to have an army, which he does, which is very good. But I'd also been losing recently to early pressure, and I'd consider under 10 minutes early pressure. Sort of. You can see here now he's warping in units. He's probably going to move in for a push. Let's check the army. Control I. Close that. Okay, yeah, he's way ahead of me. He's almost 3 times as much, and he's almost a 3 times bigger army than me. But I have roaches, which are very good against the units he's sending. I have 2 spine crawlers, so I feel kind of safe. I'm not injecting my larva. Oh, man, that's something so stupid. I really need to focus on injecting my larva. Something I didn't notice during the game. What am I doing? I have 150 APM. I don't know even what I'm doing with all that. Alright, whatever. Yeah. So if you're a Zerg player, always make sure to inject your larva. I think I stressed this the last game, but I'm going to stress it again. Always make sure that you're injecting your larva. Always, always, always. Now this is something else. This was a big mistake for me that was really actually kind of stupid. I wasn't scouting him at this point. And as a Zerg player, you do not want to have 2 bases when a Protoss is on 2 bases. You need to have 3 or 4. What I prefer is I like having 4 bases. But I really need to either knock down these rocks and get an expo here, or do something, because I need another base so I can get more income. Because see, right now, he's actually beating me in the income. Well, that could be because he doesn't have men on gas. But he's beating me in income, so that means that right now... Oh, we're actually kind of tied. We're getting closer in the army size, but... Yeah, it's really just... I really should have been scouting a lot more, which was a really stupid mistake for me, but there's another one coming up. Okay, here's something I want to talk about as a Protoss, sending out an observer. This is really smart, and during the game, I never found this observer. And I was looking at this replay earlier, and I was like, what? Wait a second. He sent an observer? I didn't even know about it. I never got a detector or anything. So... yeah, when you're a Protoss, chrono boost out your first observer, maybe even your second observer, because you want to know what your opponent's doing. And this is another thing. He's sending 2 zealots out to the watchtowers. Now this is huge. Madwell. Look at this. He can see all the way up here onto my creep, and he can see my roaches, he can see my spine crawlers, my queen, he knows when I inject larva, he sees my mutalisks even. So it's huge. You have to scout when you have that first, or you need to scout. Which is something that I didn't do, and I was just very content to just macroing up the entire time. Now, finally, I'm actually getting a 3rd expansion on the way. Finally. I mean, it took me flipping long enough. He probably knows about this one. He probably saw the drone coming out. Oh, but this is trouble. While I'm making 11 drones, he's making his first Colossus. Now, Colossus, for the Protoss... And sorry, guys, I'm talking really fast. I'm just kind of, like, in the mood to commentate, you know? And it's fun casting games. As Protoss... Colossus are probably one of the most high-value targets that your opponent is going to take out. It's just the way it is. Because Colossus are extremely, I can't emphasize that enough, important to the Protoss army. Now, 1 Colossus on its own isn't going to do much. It'll do some, but it's not going to be too big. There's what's called a critical mass of Colossus, and I find that it's about 4 to 5 Colossus that you need to have that critical mass. That would honestly roast away drones. And, I mean, yeah, right now he's not building any more Colossus, and I feel like I'm shouting. But, yeah, he needs more Colossus if he's gonna even think about taking on my army. Especially considering that he's scouting me, and he knows that I have roaches. Roaches destroy Protoss units, like stalkers. I love getting roaches against Protoss, and it's usually the only unit I get, aside from infestors. So I guess I got either an infestation pit or actually got infestors. Now, did I scout him? How much did I see? What do I know he has? Why did I decide to get corruptors then? Because I know this was something else that really came... Okay, now I'm getting infestors. But I know this was something else that came really big and handy for me that I was going to talk about. But here's something else I'm going to talk about. Upgrades. We're both getting about equal amounts of upgrades, which is huge. Neither of us knows that we have the upgrades, because neither of us has even really scouted the other in a long time. Cough, cough. But here we go. I researched Burrow. I'm moving in. He's already starting on a second Colossus, which is trouble for me. I didn't know that he could see that I have Burrow. So, I'm a big fail. I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to be all sneaky. But, yeah. Here's another thing. I got a Spire, because I like getting Mutalisks for harassment. I didn't really do anything with them, because I don't really know why, to be perfectly honest. I didn't really do anything with them. Here we go, now I'm starting to move out. I don't really have too many Mutalisks, which is bad, because that means I'm really going to have to start doing something with these. And he's already starting on a